Evening, my dear friends. Today, in this topic, I'm going to talk on a particular thing which will make interest in everybody. If you're new to my channel, please hit on the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you will not miss videos whenever I upload your videos. Okay? So let us get started with the topic. Now, the basic question of when, where, and how. This is a 3-minute talk. Well, the importance of when, where, and how is that in history we would have heard about when, where, and how, and why it is applicable, because this topic is going to implement in today's what I'm going to talk. Before that, understand why I am talking on this topic, because when you've chosen a topic or when you're asked to present something, don't do just for the sake of doing, because 90% people often do that. They do just for the sake of doing. So this is the wrong thing. So this is why I always have a procedure. Let's start with the procedure, basic question, when, where, and how, then with the topic, so that it will be easier to understand in what way this topic is going to benefit. This is how I make a YouTube strategy. Now, where it is applicable all over the world, because all over the world means whether in workplaces, whether in the shops or in gym, anywhere. This is important to say that where comes anywhere in the world, whether it is public, whether in an airplane, whether in a shop, wherever you are in the world. This is to say that how things differ as per the time, because we can see a drastic change in today's reality, that how times have changed according to it, isn't it? Basically, you always think that starting with a basic question implies all the topics will be covered within a short period of time. Because, for example, if you're going for playing a cricket or whatever, there's football or tennis or whatever sports you're going to play, without knowing a thing, if you're going to take that, it's just a waste of time. How much ever you work on it, it will only end up in a failure. So try to avoid such kind of mistakes. So this is a question of when, where. Finally, the question comes how and why. How means how it is applicable, because there are each competitors in a world where we can surely say that it applies like this. It can go in any process. This is the basic strategy. Now, whenever we start with the topic, let us always have these kinds of questions in our mind, so that it can create interest in every people. Well, in my strategic, I always start like why, when, where, and how, so that it will give a benefit to the people. Because in my cases, I have seen also other YouTubers who don't even start with this kind of basic questions, when, where, and how. They just like that go away, for which in my case that is not worth to me. So that is why I always start with definition, when, where, and how. I go as per the process, so that things and objects becomes simple. It is like making all the complicated one into a simple thing, where it is like an atom. Oh, small things split into many particles. This is it. Now you would have understood about when, where, and how. So let us get into the topic. Now I will talk about the topic, something related to the nature of human beings. Before all that, we will summarize why are we talking on this topic. This is because to save 90% of the earth everywhere without having problems, and because since there is increase in the pollution, we have to save and reduce the amount of pollution, save the lives of people. that is what we are going to discuss. The top content you would have seen. Now, if you take this planet Earth, this, everything exists, starting from foods, vehicles, or any kind of transports of cycle. It is only available in Earth. Apart from Earth, there are no planets available. Now, we will see how to save the planet Earth and what are the tips that we should need to follow so that we can save our planet from unwanted pollutions. Right? Well, here are the 5 tips which I'm going to tell right now. Number 1, conserving water. When it comes to water, we all know that water is a very important and essential role in life, without which no human or animals can exist. And in terms of biology, we know that at least a body requires 95% of water so that all things can function properly. Now, what it matters here is that many places I can see the water getting wasted, which should not be done. And when it comes into terms of drinking, we all use plastic bottles which must not be used. And what can be done is that we should close the water when not in use, and we should not throw any kind of water unnecessarily anywhere, because this comes to tell that even when there is no rain in situation, or when there is no rain for certain amount of period, then we should understand the value of water present in the earth. And what we have to do is that let's save the water and keep it safe when there is no rain, because the best option used for drinking water is filtered water. It helps to reduce unwanted plastic waste. Now you would have got the point about water and what is the best water we can use in our day-to-day life, right? Now, be a core consciousness. Well, we would have heard the term called consciousness. Means, for example, in terms of human, everybody would be feeling the consciousness of health. It's the same thing when a person has any kind of vehicle, you should feel the consciousness of having it, because it's a worth in money, isn't it? Now, what can be done when it comes to this paragraph? By staying off from the road, which means staying away from it, helps to reduces the reduction of environmental pollutions. Which means if you're not using car for more than a week, then it will help to reduces the pollution, but it also has a side effect in terms of car, because that engine may get seized. So maintenance on a regular car basis is the best example to save the life of a car. Which means per year, by following these tips, 1,590 pounds has been reduced. That is the car consciousness definition is about. Another point is that walking and cycling. Well, this is another important thing. Walking and cycling are more better than vehicles. What is the reason? Because when you are riding a cycle for a certain kilometer or certain miles, you would realize that how our health and heart functions when we cycle or jog. Also, another benefit using this that it also functions as a cardiovascular exercise, also burns a large amount of tummy fats. This is the best method of walking and cycling to get some good cardio, which means burning the fat is meant when you weigh a weight in the weighing machine. When you follow this, for example, the first day you would weigh 1200 pounds, for example. After you perform certain exercises or performing cycling or jogging or biking, your weights will get reduced to 800 or 700 pounds. This is the difference, which means by following this cycling and thing or biking, you would able to know how this helped me to reduce the cardiovascular disease, also to save the pollution from unwanted environmentals. Also to say that when you must have seen the cars, now even trains are getting electrified. Why? Because of the increase in price of the fuel. Why it is increasing? Because too much of pollutions. And nowadays we can see some of the things are getting electrified because to reduce the pollution in the planet. And when you have a diesel truck, I can see the emissions getting muted from the tube. It is a kind of poisonous gas which is also called as carbon monoxide, harmful to health. This is a very frank thing or a reality which one should understand while they are using their vehicles. Now, next point is 3 R's. What are they? Reduce, recycle, reuse. Which means when you use your product, you throw it into the dustbin, but we have to recycle it. When there is no recycling process is happening, pollution tends to emit it. So we should try to avoid it as much as possible. Last thing, giving up a composite try. Well, giving up a composite try is the best way to reduce the pollution in the earth, which means which is ultraviolet radiations or green environments, such kind of things can be reduced automatically, because the amount of solid waste that we produce and eventually winds up our local land, which means all this kind of pollutions get spread everywhere, which also automatically leads to so much of health problems. So by giving up a composite try, it will help us to reduce the unwanted pollutions in our local land, and also we will make it as a composite great natural fertilizer. We can fertilize more plants, become a better earth tomorrow. That's it. From the above conclusion, we are now coming to know that this above tips helps us to save our planet from so much of environmental pollutions. That's it. See you in the next topic. Till then, bye from me. Keep on watching.